Hello Internet, this is either Roshi and I'm back with another reaction, this time reacting to something that is Honkai Impact 3rd related. I know it's been a while, but like I've said, I've been going through that cycle of Honkai Impact 3rd, Honkai Star Rail, and also Zenless Zone Zero, with Genshin Impact always kind of being there. But man, am I excited to look at this. This is something that I missed in the original playlist. Honkai Chronicles, Herrscher of Reason. Honkai Impact 3rd. Now, this is a 13-minute video, so I figured, why not just make this the video itself? It's long enough, I can talk forever, probably. We're gonna watch it, and I'm gonna talk about what I think, all that stuff. And I know that many of you have been throwing suggestions and recommendations in the comment section for what I should do next. I want to say thank you very much for doing that. It means a lot that you care, that you want to see my reactions, and I do plan on covering the majority of things at some point in time. I have plans, I have playlists made, I have ideas of how to go forward. As far as Honkai Impact 3rd goes, there are plenty of playlists that I've had made for me, which I'm very excited to look at. As far as Honkai Impact 3rd Part 2, maybe one day I will get to it, but I want to do everything else that's Honkai Impact 3rd first. Maybe it doesn't matter, but for me it does, because of just how my brain works and the order I want to do things in. So that's essentially the plan right now. And yeah, that's it. Let's stop wasting time and get into this. I'm excited. Here we go.
断りの律者の物語は1952年の第一次崩壊から始まります。災害の中心で記憶喪失の少年が見つかり、天命に回収された後、律者と判明します。3年にもわたる苦しい実験をフールアルファとの文通で耐えてきた少年は、1955年、様々な研究所を経て、アインシュタインとテスラのいる第42実験室にやってきました。2人の科学者と出会い、少年は世界と自由を意味する名、ベルト・ジョイスを手に入れます。それからジョイスは、短い平穏な日々を満喫しました。実験室の助手になった彼は2人の科学者と親しくなり、さらに玉鋼を探す旅で個性豊かな仲間たちと出会いました。穏やかで温かな時間を知ったからこそ、逃れられない運命を前にした彼は美しい世界を守ろうとしたのかもしれません。旅の終点でジョイス一行は第9の神の鍵エデンの星を発見しますが、その後エジソン実験室で事故が起こり、シュレーディンガーも崩壊に侵食されました。大事な人たちが危機に陥った時、ジョイスは覚悟を決め、体内の力に応え守ることを選びました。崩壊に対する渇望を克服し、律者コアの中にある数十万の意識の残響に耳を傾け、律者コアを支配したジョイスは現文明で人類のために戦う一人目の律者となりました。しかし事件解決後、真の黒幕が現れます。ジョイスと文通していたフールアルファ、当時の天命主教オットー・アポカリプス。500年の闇に襲われても断りの律者は運命に屈せず、暴君の企みを壊しました。報復としてオットーはベルトのいる都市に公開分裂ミサイルを発射し、あらゆる脅威を排除しようとします。人々を守るため、命と引き換えにベルトは律者の力で町全体を守る盾を作りました。物語の最後にベルトの仲間たちは天命を出てネゲントロピーを作り、そして彼自身が断りの律者のコアを、人々を守る信念を後継者に渡しました。 二人目の断りの律者
Okay, 1 second. I know I don't normally pause in these things. I usually play it all the way through, but because this is 13 minutes long and that seemed like a decent break, I do want to actually spend a little time talking about what I've witnessed so far. So forgive me. I try not to interrupt too much, but for here, I want to share thoughts before I completely forget them. First off, I just want to say that I don't even know much about him other than playing a little bit of Honkai Star Rail. You know, this is the story of Welt, right? Didn't know it was Welt Joyce. Maybe there's something else to that I'll find out, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Welt is, to me, like I said, I know very little about him other than what I'm learning now and like the very beginning of Honkai Star Rail stuff. Nothing beyond Bellabog. I like Welt a lot. I think he's a really cool character. I like how he presents himself. I don't know. There's just a lot of things about this guy where I'm like, I trust this man. I don't know what it is, but I trust this man. And seeing him as a younger person and what he's had to do and just getting all of this information about like what this dude is actually capable of and how far he's come and all that stuff. Like there's something really cool to be seeing that here right now. And I'm sure it means even more to people who are even more familiar with the character, who actually got to, whether it was Honkai Impact 3rd or in Honkai Star Rail, actually got to like play with him or like in the story or all that stuff, right? Having him by your side or hearing him speak or all that jazz. I don't know. It's really, really interesting. And the fact that he's got this whole Herrscher thing and how that's like a sort of forgive me, it's been a while, so I might be a little iffy on some of the lore and stuff, but relatively like the Herrscher power stuff is usually kind of crazy and tends to corrupt, right? That's kind of like the gist I got from it. But the fact that he had been able to be one of those, but also use that power to defend rather than to destroy is pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to be like, oh man, this guy's like a blueberry boy scout, just like always doing the good thing, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's not really that, in my opinion. If you have this power that normally corrupts and turns people into some crazy negative thing, but this dude is somehow able to spin that on its head and use it for good, it's like the ultimate fuck you to the universe. Or the multiverse at this rate. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like beating the odds completely. It's a way of, like, normally when it comes, for example, okay, hold on, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. Sorry about that for the people who don't care. But I have issues with power fantasy. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I have issues with very basic power fantasy. When a character is super powerful and the reasons for it are lame and there's not much else to it, right? I have issue with that. But when you give reasons for why it's a certain way and it shows and it actually means something for the story, then it's good. So here are two examples right off the bat, and I'm going to get hate for this. In my opinion, Solo Leveling is a bad show. A lot of people love it. I think the animation is great. The fight scenes are cool, but there's no reason to care about anything that's happening because our main character is too powerful. And everything else doesn't matter anymore. The first 3 episodes were the most epic that show has ever been. That is my take. Many people will say that's a bad take, but I give a fuck about story. So I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. My bad. My bad. Hot take, I know. But then there's shows like Free Run. Frieren is mega powerful, the character. But there's like reason for it and a decent explanation, and you get to see that and that develop and how things have changed over time and just why things are that the way they are. But there's also the idea that they're not unbeatable. Like, they can still technically be beaten, and even they have admit to their own faults, and it's not just like, I'm just perfect now and nothing can stop me and blah blah blah. Let's level up in the last second and kill the guy in front of me, even though I was already gonna kill the thing before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's actually weight to when there's weight to it. It's good. I'm sorry, that was my tangent there, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. And by all means, like what you want to like. I don't care. You can say Solo Leveling is the best show ever made. That's fine. I think you're wrong, but I'm not going to tell you not to enjoy it. Enjoy what you want. But I think right now what I'm saying is that I like what they're doing here with Welt. Because it's sort of like it was against the odds in the very beginning. Or that's how I'm taking it. I could be interpreting it very wrong. Anyway, sorry for the rambles. Let's continue. My point is, I like it so far. God. Here we go.
2人目の断りの律者はヨアヒム・ヨウです。1955年、ジョイスが命を懸けて守った町で、幼い彼は断りの律者のコアを受け継ぎました。一人の子供にとって人類を守る責任は重すぎます。迷い、逃げることもありましたが、外に出た彼は運命に立ち向かう人々や美しいもの、信念を知りました。ベルトの名にあるのは普通と重荷だけではない。そう気づいた彼は美しい世界を守るため戦おうと決意します。その後の数十年間、ベルト・ヨウはネゲントロピーの名手になり、信念を持つ仲間と共に世界のため戦い続けました。2000年の第二次崩壊時、ベルト・ヨウは断りの律者として人類を代表して崩壊に挑み、断りの律者の力を生かし、人類の文明の武器を構築し、第二律者に打撃を与えました。しかし、第二律者は月で神の施しを受けます。人類など神の前では些細な存在です。それでも仲間を、この世界を守るためにベルト・ヨウは何度も命を懸けて戦いました。彼が表しているのは律者コアにある30万の思想、人類の文明の積み重ねと輝きでした。
Okay, it just popped in my head. Okay, well, this is Welt Yang. His name was Yang. That's the one that's the HSR one. Wait, HSR? Yeah, Honkai Star Rail. Jesus Christ. I'm losing my mind. There's so... Honkai Impact, Honkai... Anyway. Right, got it. So there was Welt Joyce, and then there's Welt Yang. Welt Joyce sacrificed. And then there's Welt Yang, who took that power and became the Welt that I assume we know today. Got it. I'm following now. I really like that. I really like this kind of like... Oh, what's the word? Just like this passing on thing. Where it's kind of... It's like the same, but it's not, but it is. Right? Let me know in the comments if is it technically the same person again because of it? Like, it was this Yang character who picked this up and accepted it, essentially just became Welt Joyce, but now known as Welt Yang? Or are they kind of like a combination of people, of themselves versus this Joyce character? Or is it just straight up Welt Yang with the powers that Joyce had? You let me know. Maybe it'll answer my question, but those are the things running through my head right now, and I could be wrong about all three. Anyway, let's continue. Sorry about that.
2016年、崩壊を駆逐する方法を探すため、開眼の目で実験したベルト・ヨウは、 量子の海に囚われます。彼はあそこで全文明最強の戦士ケビンと遭遇したのです。いろいろな経験を経た戦士の意志は強固でした。現実に戻り、人類の文明が崩壊を乗り越えられるよう最悪のやり方を使おうとする彼にベルトヨーは賛同できませんでした。断りの律者である彼が守ると決めたのは全力で生きる人々だからです。圧倒的な力を持つ全文明の戦士を前にし、ベルトヨーは現実の壁になることを選び、祝福を込め最後の試練を残しました。希望と信念を持つ後継者がやってくることを待ちながら。
Okay. Man.
3人目の断りの律者はブローニャ在地区です。孤児である少女は傭兵生活を送っていました。2012年、カカリア孤児院に連れて行かれたブローニャは優しいゼーレと出会います。彼女のおかげで優しさを知った少女は守りたいと思うようになります。しかしその後、ブローニャを守るために自ら X 点実験に参加したゼーレは量子の海に囚われます。実験に参加した少女はゼーレを助けられず、別れの際に再会の約束を交わします。それは少女の原動力となりました。2014年、第3次崩壊が発生した超空死でブローニャはキアナとメイに出会います。大変な暮らしの中、友情を育んだ3人は最高の仲間になりました。ブローニャはカカリアに与えられた任務を諦め、2人の仲間とその世界を守ると決めました。
I love seeing these names pop up that I'm
そ
like
の後、
familiar with.
姫子に誘われた3人はセイフレイヤに行き、崩壊と戦うバルキリーになります。セイフレイヤでの生活で少女の守りたいという心が大きくなり、彼女は仲間と共に美しい世界を守るために戦うと誓いました。2016年、デザイアジェムを探していた3人はそれを体内に入れられたウェンディを見つけましたが、カカリアによって埋められたバイオチップがブローニャの意識を支配してしまいます。そのせいで彼女は心を開いたウェンディや信頼してくれたキアナとメイを傷つけました。大事な仲間を守るためにブローニャはバイオチップを壊し、長い昏睡状態に陥ってしまいます。不可の助けにより夢の中で試練を受けたブローニャは逃げずに未来の人生で過去の過ちを否定すると決めました。しかしその後、オットーの策によりキアナの中で空の律者の人格が目覚め、仲間を守るためにブローニャは迷わず戦場に向かいます。その時、少女はアインシュタインからエデンの星を受け継ぎました。最終的に仲間と先生の愛はキアナの意識を呼び戻します。一方でエデンの星が意味するものをブローニャが知らなくても、ベルトのようにエデンの星で仲間を守った時から少女の未来は断りの律者の精神とつながりました。2017年、デザイアジェムを取り戻し友人を助けるため量子の海に入ったブローニャはベルトヨーの試練を受けます。善良さ、固い意志、正直さ、守ること、3つの世界で何度も己の信念を証明したブローニャは断りの律者のコアと同期し、人類のために戦う3人目の断りの律者になりました。同時に彼女はゼーレを助け、最初の約束を果たします。
Wow, okay. It's a lot. We're going through a lot right now. This is cool though. Oh man. So it seems like from what I gathered there, I know I was just talking about Welt before, but I'm going to continue talking about Welt. Trapped in the Sea of Quanta, right? His soul or spirit or something. So now that... I'm curious as to how this continues because of what I know from HSR. Huh. Yeah, and then there's Bronya and Sela, and we mentioned other characters there. And I like Bronya. I think Bronya is cool. I already mentioned that. I liked her character a lot from what I got to see of her. And even Honkai Impact 3rd stuff, it seems her story is very interesting. Other than that, felt my neurons activate in my head when the music started to play. When it went from ambient to like the more electronic. And I'm gonna fully admit, because I always liked this, and I didn't really but I didn't really know anything about it before. But the music genres that Honkai Impact 3rd was using, at least in that other video where I reacted to all that stuff, by all means go check that out if you haven't. It's a long one and it was a lot of fun. But I've been listening to a lot more artcore, J-core music now. And it's because of Honkai Impact 3rd. I just started looking up stuff. I haven't looked up Honkai Impact 3rd songs because I plan on making a video about it. So it's stuff unrelated to this game, just so you know. It's a thing that I plan on doing at some point. I'm going to be reacting to more music. And although I'm not really well versed in music terminology, already fumbling over my words, I can at least express how I feel in layman's terms, like a caveman, because I like focusing on lyrics. I like the sounds of beeps and boops, but I can't tell you what note something is in and why it's in that particular note. But I can be like, I like this sound because it makes me feel like this. I can do that. So I figured if that sounds entertaining to you, then let me know. And that is something that I plan on doing, but depending on the feedback, maybe I'll get to it faster. Let me know. Anyway, let's continue.
断りの律者のコアを継いだブローニャはベルトの下で学びますが、ベルトの名を継ぐことはありませんでした。少女にとって二人のベルトの信念はあまりにも眩しかったのです。しかしその名がなくても少女なりに守る理念を形にしていました。そしてその頃世界が不安定になりました。2017年10月、何年も準備してきたオットーが聖女カレンの復活のため世界をリセットしようとしたのです。彼を阻止するために少女たちはカロスタンに集まりますが、オットーはすでに疑心の力を手にしていました。道を阻む約束の光幕を前にして少女は覚悟します。30万の思想に見守られながら断りの律者の使命を受け入れ、精神同調でその力を完全解放したブローニャは多くのムーンライトスローンを構築して道を切り開きました。彼女は断りの律者、その未来の道をようやく歩き始めました。カロスタンの事件の後、メイは古の楽園で13英傑と協力し神職の律者を倒します。そのため人類の文明が対峙する律者は最後の終焉のみとなりました。ヨルムンガンドを率いるケビンも成婚計画を始動させます。ヨルムンガンドの成婚計画は人類よりも文明を重んじる最悪の計画でした。バルキリーたちの前に立ちはだかるヨルムンガンドのウサギの正体は成婚の結晶ミステル・シャニアテ。一行にとってウサギはケビンの前に倒さなければならない相手ですが、少女にとってはそれだけではありませんでした。生まれながら呪いを持ち成婚計画を背負い無数の人生を転写する ウサギの一部のあり方は断りの理知者と似て非なるものです。だからこそ彼女はブローニが超えなければならない相手でした。好きで断りの理知者の信念を背負った少女はウサギと対峙します。尊敬すべきベルトの名、明記すべき30万の思想。しかし現在で勝つために過去の力に執着してはいけません。未来へと向かうためには断りの理知者の伝承を背負う必要がありました。先輩の意志、仲間の信頼、多くの信念を集めた少女は真理の理知者へと流化し、自分なりにネゲントロピーの精神を実現したブローニャ財地区になりました。真理の名のもとに少女は未来を切り開きます。
Oh, and that's it. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, guys. I learned things. I still have some questions, but I learned things for sure. That was cool. Okay. I like Welt. I like Bronya. I think I understand the majority of this, but by all means, if it seems like I didn't understand something, then let me know in the comments down below. It's okay. You can talk about Honkai Impact 3rd all you want. But yeah, this was... I'm actually glad that this ended up accidentally becoming its own video rather than mixed with the other ones. Only because it was a lot more information, and there was a lot of information in that last one. As you can tell, I feel a little scrambled right now just because it's a lot and it was a while ago since I last reacted to that. But in a way, that's not a bad thing because I get to learn from you guys. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. The storytelling is very, very interesting. There's a lot of ideas that I consider pretty, I don't know, just like inspirational for like my own ideas that I work with. It's, I don't know, there's something about this world and how intricate events are laid out and how they weave into other stories, and it all kind of comes together. And it, at the end of the day, although seems convoluted, it does make sense, in my opinion. Like, once you actually take the time to really take it in and put more focus on it, then you're like, ah, okay, that's why. That's what this is. This is because of that. And it's very, in a way, I'm going to say true to life, but people might be a little confused by that because obviously we don't have Herrschers in our real world. But what I mean by that is we are all the main characters of our own story, right? We all have our lives. Some people are out there doing like crazy things, great things, bad things. Other people are just laying low, just settling, getting by, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, it's still your story, and you shape it based off of your actions. And while you do that, there's another perspective elsewhere doing something else at the same exact time. So this game is really good at showing what these other characters are doing at the same time, or how one thing leads into the other because of another character's actions, and so on and so forth, and it intertwines. And that's why it's real, because it's not like just because this character is off screen doesn't mean that they're not doing anything. Sometimes in games you can feel like when the character's not on screen, they cease to exist. In this game, it feels like everything is moving. Everything is constantly going. And yes, that can be confusing, but so is life, man. We don't get to see everyone's perspective. And that's just what that is. So, you know, like for example, the character Otto. I'm not saying the guy's good. I'm not saying you have to like love the guy, and a lot of people don't. But from the comment section on my previous video, the majority of people said, yeah, Otto is scum, but respect. You know what I mean? Like, you get it. Like, you're just kind of like, oh man, this guy's an asshole. He caused me so many problems and blah, blah, blah. And he did this and he did that. And it was bad. What he did was he did bad things. But he stuck to his guns. He had a mission. And he freaking did his mission, you know what like, so it's kind of like respect in that regard, right? Even though it could be a bad thing. That's why I think morally gray characters and even villains are very interesting. But then we have characters here like the Welts and Bronya, who are also interesting in their way for the sacrifices they've had to make, their life stories and stuff, and how their power passes on and all that jazz for the continuation of doing good, right? Oh, there's a lot here, but that's what I got from this. I just love seeing all these characters, and character development is one of my favorite things. So seeing that over the course of all of these characters, the decisions they have to make, what they do, and the outcome of those said decisions. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. There are more videos on the way, and I hope you stick around to enjoy them. But as far as we go here, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you let me know by leaving a like. Write your comments down below to fill me in more about the Honkai Impact 3rd world, universe, if you want to call it that. Sure, that's what that is. And check out the description for additional ways of how to support me. Every little bit counts. It means a lot. Subscribe if you haven't done that already, if you want to stay notified to the things that I do. I also do Genshin Impact stuff, and like I said, I've been covering more Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero recently, and I continue to do that. So thank you very much. That's it. Until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.